Hey guys, so vlog number three, sorry, um, and today I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something that's a little near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to give you a warning. There's definitely going to be some, trigger warnings possibly, and I know me being a survivor of, sexual assault and domestic, violence, there's a possibility that I may get a little emotional, and I just wanted to warn you guys. This one gets a little heavy, and with me being like personally emotional, I might get a little angry too, just because there's certain things in society today that, with this topic, kind of bug the shit out of me, and so with that being said, you might catch a glimpse of Bear while I'm doing my video. For those of you who don't know, Bear is definitely my my biggest comfort item right now, and last night Brennan found him, and I definitely had the little girl reaction when he found him because I haven't been able to find Bear for a couple of weeks. And Bear is my comfort animal just because of a lot of what I've been through, and so I still keep Bear and Fluffy are my two comfort animals. They're very near and dear to my heart. So a lot of times when I do my posts and things like that and talk about hard things, they are very close to me. With that being said, today I wanted to talk about kind of how society proceeds a certain stereotype that women who dress provocatively or girls who, I guess basically it has a lot to do with just not wearing clothes but and I think it's very important, especially with like my stance on body positivity, like I think it's very important for girls to like wear revealing clothes. And I think the idea behind the fact that girls who wear sleazy clothing or girls who wear like low cut shirts or like slim fitting pants should be raped, and I think that's ridiculous. I think the whole concept of any girl or man should be raped is like ridiculous. I think it just pisses you off, right? Like, why say something like that? Um, that being said, and I think it's funny that I ended up wearing my t-shirt and my pants because I wanted to be an asshole and I wanted to change into one of my really slutty, I say that, as people think it as derogatory, but I think it's very important for girls to show off on what they feel proud of, and for I guess men too, but in particular for me at this point, I think it's very important for, if you're proud of something that you have, or you're proud of the way you look, or just proud of the energy you exude when you feel powerful, then I think show it off. And I think this idea that, excuse me, girls need to cover up to be safe is ridiculous. Like, I don't know how many of you saw the outfit I wore on my birthday, and it's definitely like one of my favorite going out outfits, and it's very low cut and it's very tight, and there's some sheer pieces, but like it makes me feel so powerful. And I think just the idea that, oh, don't dress too sleazy, or make sure you cover up so you don't get hurt, and the fear behind that, I think the way people have grown up is to fear feeling good about yourself. And I think, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily understand, like, what feels good to you may not look good to them, or may not feel like it would feel good to them. And I think a lot of opinions get wishy-washy in situations like this. But like, when I was raped, I was wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. When I was taken by my ex and held in his home, I was wearing a sweatshirt and blue jeans. Like, there is no correlation to what the fuck you are wearing to being in that situation. Sexual assault and rape happen because assholes think that they can take control of you. That's it. That is why. And the idea behind me wearing, this is the emotional part that I was talking about, like the idea behind, oh, your dress is too short, or oh, shouldn't you cover your boobs up, or no, I feel good the way I look. Stop trying to scare people into being raped. Yes, it is a terrifying thing, and being held hostage is a terrifying thing, and I will never be over it, like, ever. And like, the PTSD is ridiculous. However, it has nothing to do with what I was wearing at all. It has everything to do with somebody wanted to take control and assert dominance over somebody who was not able to fight back. And I think it is so wrong that we make it okay. We as women make it okay for other women to say things like this, or even men at this point, but screw the men at this point, because women are doing this to other women, and it's awful. Like, do not tell somebody because they wear a low-cut shirt or a tight dress, or like to wear their hair a certain way, that it means that they're going to get raped, or that they could be drugged, or things like that. Our society has made scare tactics so that women get all this bullshit. And like, well, yeah, I agree, those lock spank things that keep men out of your pants, I don't know, whatever. They have a purpose, yeah, but like, the fact that they have a purpose is because people like us, everyday people, go around scaring other people into thinking that something horrible is going to happen to them. And spreading that fear and spreading that horror is what is causing more issues than if we just stopped and taught relationships, healthy relationships in schools, or we stopped and actually supported each other, or understood what the fucking word no means. There are gonna be assholes out there. Like, I'm sorry. There are. Like, we can't stop that. But we can teach everyone else not to give in to those assholes. And I think it's very important to be aware of the things that you say, especially to survivors. Like, nothing pisses me off more than when somebody says, I'm just scared that you'll get hurt again. Have you seen me recently? I mean, yeah, it could happen. But the strength that I have now far, far, far outweighs where I was back then. And it's because I finally accepted that I'm strong and I can fight for myself. And while that might not be physically, obviously, because just posted about my wrist being hurt. So, but like, for real though, being strong and being an advocate for other survivors and breaking down those stupid freaking stereotypes of what you wear correlates to what happens to you. And I think as being a body positivity person, it is even more important to just put it out there that for a woman to be where I stand right now, after being what I went through, like going through everything I went through, is a fucking miracle within itself. Like, I am honestly my own fucking hero at this point. Like, I have come so fucking far. And excuse my language, I know my mom's gonna be pissed. But I have, and I've come so far, and I'm so proud of the way I look and of the way I feel. And when somebody says, oh, well, make sure you watch what you're wearing, it kind of negates everything you've worked so hard for. And I just think that if we could all come together and point out that it has nothing to do with what you're wearing, clearly, we need to break down this wall of scaring people into thinking that they're gonna get hurt. We need to teach people that they are actually these strong and resilient things, and that our life is not to be controlled by anyone else, unless you believe in God. But even at that point, he gives you free will. So I mean, but that's your belief. However you believe that part, no one else besides you yourself have control over you. And I think it is so important to realize that the more we feed into these bullshit fear tactics, the worse it's gonna get. Like I learned today, 300 in 1,000 women report their rapes. I'm not one of those 300. I'm not. And I think that number is ridiculous. Honestly, even being somebody who didn't report, it should be 100 or 1,000 and 1,000. Like, there should be no reason that anyone is scared to come forward because somebody else harmed them. No reason. But because of the way our justice system has worked, unfortunately, and because of the way our society has made things, we don't report. And that makes things so much harder for those of us who didn't report, but also for those of us who are watching those women who had the courage, or, I'm sorry, I say women, men too, but had the courage to step forward and say, this happened to me. Watching everything else that is happening right now is bullshit. If somebody says to you something happened to them, your first response should be, I believe you. Where do we go from here? Stop scaring people into thinking that it is okay to control other people. It is not okay. Stop telling women not to wear what the fuck they want to wear. Stop telling women that they won't be listened to. Stop telling people that they're not going to be heard. Stop telling men that it's not masculine enough, or that their man card will be revoked if they tell somebody that a fucking woman or another fucking man raped them. No. Rape is rape. Sexual assault is sexual assault. If somebody else hurts you, you should have the ability to come forward and say something. Stop scaring people into not being okay. Because honestly, those scare tactics actually add to everything that comes from that event that happened to you and makes it worse. So I just want to leave you with, please be mindful of what you are saying in the world in general, but especially to survivors. And I think it is so important not to use the phrase, be careful what you wear because I don't want you to get hurt again. It's nothing to do with what you're wearing. It has nothing to do with anything that they did at all. It has everything to do with people being assholes and not owning up to their bullshit. Thanks, guys. Make sure to be your own queen always.